Hello Internet. Today we are going to talk about Fuse.js library, a fuzzy search lightweight library in JavaScript. Now why now for demonstrating the library and its powerful capabilities, we are going to build search functionality. Let's say you're building a website and where you're displaying some products, and now users may want to search for a specific product, and we know that users like few users would do a typo, but we don't want that users to see zero results. They still need to see relevant search results. For example, me as a user going to Amazon, I would not know the exact item that I would be searching for. I would search for something like a relevant category or a relevant model name. I want to see all the results available. So something to demonstrate that I am I built a simple search for cars functionality. Basically, consider this is a car listing website. User might want to search for the model name, the make name, like who manufactured it, and the diesel type. For example, if I want to know electric vehicles available in the website, I can search for that. Petrol vehicles, so anything. It's not just the name of the car that I'm searching for. It can be based on few other parameters too, and there can be a typo too. I want the closest match search results in my functionality in my website. So this is a simple demonstration. Now here is how the data of the data would look like. So you can see this is the data that I have. This is the model, this is the make, model year, state is Texas, and description I have put some random strings, and the fuel type, and this is the generated using faker, a JSON library that gives you the fake JSON available, fake JSON to play with. So I have around 100 cars here, and the data is not accurate, so I have it's generated using fake data. So don't rely on the data here. Like the Lincoln car could be petrol, diesel, whatever, I do not know frankly. But what I want to demonstrate is, for example, there is this Ford. Now I go to this website and I search for Ford. It should list all the Ford cars available on the web. Now you see that there is one Honda result also came up, and I'll tell you exact reason why it came up. If you notice, Ford, if you split the characters, it's FORD, and there is this ORD character that is matching here, and the I am getting the score also 0.072, and matched key would be the model. So these are the keys that I am asking this library to search for. So this is my data, ID, model, make, model year, and inside meta I have state, description, and fuel. So here I have specified the keys like name, make, model, fuel, meta dot description, meta dot state. I'll go about these options. What are these options? How do you implement? How do you import Fuse.js library in your website or in your web application? How do you use them? What are the options available? I'll be going through that in the course of this video. Uh, just as, so this is the search functionality that I wanted to demonstrate, and so for this I'm using Fuse.js library. And why Fuse.js library? So it's a lightweight JavaScript library that can be plugged into your client side as well as on your server side. It's better to have it on the client side because Fuse.js library you would use it for fuzzy searching your data set, and if you want the results to be shown faster, it's better to have them. And if you have the data on your client side handy, then it would be better to use it on the client side. But if you if your data set is huge, but it's not recommended to use for huge data sets. But if it's mid to medium, basically medium sized data set that you have and it's static one, so you can plug it on your server side too. Now what exactly is fuzzy searching? In JavaScript, we know that we have that equals matching, that is the exact match. If you compare one string with another using three equals operator or two equals operator, three equals operator, it says true or false if there is an exact match. Also, there is this substring match. But in substring, the patterns, the sequence of characters in the substring should match the sequence of characters in the original string that you are searching for. So, but in a fuzzy search doesn't work that way. It can be the closest match. Here I have made some notes on Fuse.js library. So whatever the documentation is available here, I've gone through the documentations. I have made some simple notes here. So this Fuse.js is a library based on fuzzy search algorithm. So fuzzy search internally uses bitmap algorithm for scoring. There are other algorithms too that I use for fuzzy searching, be it Hamming distance algorithm, uh, and Hamming distance is a popular one. There is bitmap, which is used by Fuse.js internally, and there are several other algorithms too. Now Fuse.js is a simple lightweight JavaScript library, and it has zero dependency, and fuzzy search is basically approximate string matching, finding strings that are approximately given to equal to a given pattern rather than exact pattern. So why do we need? As I said, no need of dedicated backend to handle the search. That is, the data set is simple. If you have it handy on the client side, it's even better. If you have a medium size data set on your server side, it's very good to use. You need a server to handle search, or build microservices just for search functionality if your data set is not that big. Simplicity and performance, ease of integration, that we will be showcasing in this video. So when do we use this? As I said, client side searching on small to moderately large dataset, and even on the server side when Elasticsearch or a dedicated backend is hard to justify and overkill for you, and it's an overkill for your use cases. How do you install? Like in your React, Next.js, or your server's project, just add this dependency using npm install Fuse.js, or if you are using yarn as your package manager, yarn add Fuse.js. There are two different builds available for this library. One is full version and one is basic version. I'll be covering the basic version. Full version, you will understand it too over the course of this video. It's just used for searching and logical query operations like AND or on the data set. Now scoring theory is something that I want to cover because this forms a basis for fuzzy search. And when you see the results, why are they matching, why are the results being shown up in a certain way, you would only understand after you go through the scoring theory. So once we have a list of matching items, they need to be ranked by relevance score. The score is determined by three factors: the fuzziness score, key weight, and the field length norm. Fuzziness score, as I said, there are various algorithms for fuzzy searching. Hamming distance, bitmap algorithm is one thing. Bitmap algorithm is a typo. So you can go through this. There are Wikipedia articles. There are several sources that explains this. I'll cover the distance, threshold, and location parts. So the calculation for something to be considered a match takes into account how far the pattern is from the expected location and within the given threshold. Let's say by default the location is 0, distance is 100, threshold is 0.6. For something to be considered a match, it would have to be within the threshold 0.6 into the distance 100 is equal to 60 characters away from the expected location 0. Now just to explain this, I am keeping it this way. So I will search for, let's say, him. Now I have set the threshold to 100. I have set the threshold to 0.3, the distance being 100, the location being 0. Now what do I mean by this? I want him character to be searched within 100 into 0.3, 30 characters from the location 0 of this given string. Now do I get the results? Obviously no, because him is not present within 30. Not just him, anything that is close to him, to be it im or hm, it's not present. If I increase the distance to let's say 60, okay, let me uncomment this. This is just, I am just calculating the data, the string length of string, and what is the distance that I want. And I am also seeing if the substring has occurred in the given string. So yeah, so I got the Fuse result now. Basically the result showed up in my Fuse search result. I got the exact item where it matched the ref index and the score 0.7, 0 being the exact match and 1 being the lowest match. So here the length of the string is 57, and if I have set the threshold to 100 into 0.6, 60. Remember, this threshold doesn't depend on the length of the entire the length of the string that you are giving as an input. It just calculates basically distance into threshold. Your string can be of length 10, 20, 30, or even 1000. So make sure to have your distance maximum as your data set. Like if your data set contains huge strings, calculate the maximum length of any given string in it and give that as a distance if you want them to be matched. I am also noticing that the substring occurrence is at 43rd, but you know that, so HIM was found, but what about HM? Let's search for HM. I see substring, we could not find a substring of HM inside the dataset, but I still got a Fuse result. There was a typo in while I was searching for HIM. You may consider it this way, but it still found it. This is why the fuzzy searching comes into handy. Now let's say for the same thing, we did not get the result if I set the point, the threshold to 0.3. What if I move the location itself? I know that the substring, let's HIM, this result is 0, substring is occurring at 40. What if I am putting it location as 30? That is, I want the string to start searching from 30th location, that is somewhere here, and from 30th location I want within the 100 into 0.3, that is 30. Like starting from 30, the next 30 characters I should find the given string. Do I find it? Of course. And the score also improved because it found in the minimum distance itself. Now let's bring it back to normal. Let's say now let's say I'll increase the threshold. I've given include matches as true. Now what does this tell us? If you notice, it should have printed it. Let me JSON stringify this so that for we can read the results. It tells us where exactly the given string matched to. So if you notice, value matches at indices 3,3, 9,9. So it gives out all the places where it noticed the match. Let's remove this, bring back just fuse.search. What else? Let's see some of the options. You can have min match character length. So I have documented all the options here, the important options I consider. There are other options too. If I want the result sorted, what is the minimum character match that I want? Like for example, if I just type H, I don't want all this entire data set wherever H there is a character H to be showed up. So that's why I set this minimum match character length. You can specify keys. For example, I can showcase it here. Let's introduce character Batman. Now I'll remove Batman from here. I'll search for bat. It's still found 0.81. What if I give? Notice the score is very close to 0. Now what if I type int entirely? So this is how the Fuse search library gives out the results. Let me just keep this. Now let's build this simple. Let's build a Autosuggest kind of a component using Fuse.js library. So I'll initialize it using Next.js. CD GitHub, personal, YouTube. I'm using npx. Create next app. Let's call it Fuse.js search demo. I like to use TypeScript. Yes, then yes. Nope. Yes, yes. I would like to configure this, but yeah. I've initialized the repo. Let me open in the editor. Now you see some boilerplate code here. I'll delete as much as possible. I don't need all these stuff. Let me only keep the main style that I need. I'll remove everything. Title I would call it as cars. Description I'll keep it as it is. Remove all the styling which I don't need. There are so many styles that have been added in the boilerplate code. Okay, main flex direction column. Okay. So I know the CSS that I want, so I'll just put it here. So page.tsx, again lot of clutter. I'll remove all this and have simple h3 saying search for anything related to cars. Yeah. Before creating the component, let me install the Fuse.js library in my project. I'll remove this unused import. The project got installed. I'll create one component called /component/car search. So if you notice, it's pointing to what's inside src. So inside my src folder, I'll create components car search .tsx and a corresponding CSS module. I know the styles already. I'll have them because it's irrelevant to this video. So inside car search, return default car search. For this I would need I'll also create one. Now I'll have to plug the bare bones of basically a backbone of this project would be Fuse.js library. So I'll have my data inside my config folder, and I'll also create a utils where I'll create fuse search.ts, and inside config I'll place my cars dataset, which is my JSON. Now, so this is the dataset I have. If you notice, I have ID, model, make, model underscore year, and inside meta I have state, description, and fuel type. So yeah, this is the main code. I'll import Fuse from Fuse.js, import cars from /config/cars.json, const fuse options. This is the main thing. I'll come to this. I'll create a singleton fuse object. Let this be any bad practice. For now, keep it tiny. Const fuse search. If there is no fuse object, return new. Okay. Fuse object is equal to new fuse. Pass the dataset. Pass the fuse options. Initialize. Return fuse object. So I'll export this function. Now inside my options, now I know, let me split it. What is it that I need? Let's do one thing. Okay, I've started the project. Cool. Anyway, I'll copy the live demo. So inside my live demo, I'll copy everything, all the parameters. Here is case sensitive. It should be false. I can search for capital, small. I need the results. Include score. I'll put it as true. Should sort. Yes, I want them to be sorted by the matching score. I'll come to this. Find all matches. Min match. I'll come to this. Location, threshold, distance I've already explained. I'll keep it as default. What else I need? So this is the main part. So I need my matching to be based on model for sure. I can I want it by make, I want it by meta.state, I want it by meta.fuel, meta.description too. And we can assign individual weights. For example, field norm weight would be take the length of the key into consideration. The other thing, you can assign weights to these individual keys, and that would go something like, if you want model to be the highest weightage one, so you can give something like this. So that would assign higher weight to model. Rest by default it would be 1. I'll keep it this way for now. So inside my car.js component, I'll import fuse search. What else? I want this to be a client component, so I'll import react use state from react. So I'll have an input component, set input use state const suggestions, set suggestions, somehow it's always going to do. Change it, constant change is equal to e, which would be react.change event html input element. Yep, and set input would be dot target dot value. Yeah, let it be now. Styles is equal to yeah. So there is some styles already added. So this would be styles dot car search container. Okay, why is the error? Yeah. Now what else I need? I need an input component. Type would be text. Value would be input. On change would be on change. Placeholder is equal to search cars. ID is equal to car. Search input. Class name would be styles dot car. Search input and name I'll just keep for now, car search. Yeah, and here I want suggestions to be displayed. I'll have get suggestions that returns a component. So inside my get suggestion com, basically I'll copy paste some things here. Return would be an unordered list, but let's see what would this fetch me. Let's start the project and npm run dev. Simply copy paste. What are all the things I want to display? Any. So as soon as the user enter, I want the search to be triggered based on what the user has entered. So inside my search cars, now here I'll say results Fuse search, call the function, use the search API, pass the value, console.log the results, and set the suggestions destructure and set it. Yep. Now let me import this component. Now what is this time? Yes. Did I get the input component? Yeah. This is because I copy pasted the code, and now I'll have to correct some few search. I have to give include matches to be true. Let me refresh. Yeah, so I search for Toyota. As you can see, it says the match key is model in this case. Who score would be 4.53. Here it matched the make. As I said, I have given higher value to the model, so in the given data set it matched the model contained a higher match, so it is listing in the result what matched the model, that is for which key I have given the high weightage, it matched first, and that was included in the top result, and then it matched the other stuff. And now I can further clarify, make this min match character length I want it 2. Threshold also I don't want to be threshold, I'll give it as 0.4, but then 40 characters I want this matches. Let's search for Ford. Cool. Let's make a typo. Cheryl. Yeah, it's still matching. So it says model, it matched model here, Chero. So that's why, and you can see the point score being closer to 0. And here it matched all the makes, so it's that's why listing here. Let's search for BMW. Okay, there's only one result. The good score and match key is make X5 model. Cool. So yeah, let me, for example, if I want something to be there in the description, let's search for a rat. Oh, so many matches. Does it contain Mazda? Yep, it contains. Okay. Let's search for petrol. Okay, somewhere make is getting higher matches, but rest all meta.fuel is matching. Let's decrease the weight to 1. So what happens? Same thing. Petrol, same thing. Yeah, meta.fuel. Let's search for electric. Everything meta.fuel. So you notice there's 100 objects in my data set, and I want them searched by various keys, and the result should be more like a close match, not the exact match. So this library comes in very very handy. Now you don't want this thing to be triggered every time I enter a character, so I'll just debounce it. Say const handle search is equal to debounce search cars I'll give this to handle search. I'll implement something in utils like debounce. Const debounce is equal to you take a function. You okay, okay. Let I think we need the timer, which should be Node.js dot timeout, and you return the function. This can be args in, and you clear this timeout, return fn dot apply this comma args, but everything inside a set timeout. So this should take yep. Cool. Should see if it's working. Electric. Yeah, it matches. We don't want the autocomplete thingy. Autocomplete for security reasons. Cool. So this is how you utilize Fuse.js library and introduce, the closest search or Autosuggest component with the closest match from your data set. Thank you. Let me know in the comments if you have any doubts. I'll try to clear them.